Lorenzo, there are a number of things that you talk about that are totally foreign to me. And if I hadn't had the privilege of talking to you every day, I wouldn't know what these things are. And one of those things is keyword research. I know you talked about this a lot of times. A lot of our episodes cover the topic of keyword research. Can you talk about it in more detail? And I want to just kind of dig deeper into this topic of keyword research, which is a very interesting idea.
Yeah, so let's say 99% of the people that hear the word keyword research, they make an instant connection with SEO and an instant connection with Google Ads, right? Or even like Amazon ads, for example. And for those that are not in that sector, in that space, it's literally like figuring out what are the keywords that people search for in Google, so then they can create content around those keywords and rank for those keywords and bring traffic from an SEO perspective, but also target those keywords in the ads, in the Google ads or Amazon ads, to bring people on the site and convert them, right? Now, that's the 99.99% use case of the keyword research out there. I actually have a little bit of experience in SEO. I started my career in SEO, so I had done keyword research many times 10 plus years ago. And one thing I decided to do was figuring out how I can use keyword research for CRO purposes, right? So I put I went back to kind of like 10 years ago and like, okay, I need to like go back and figure out how to do keyword research again after, I mean, things haven't changed that much, but, and what I realized is that keyword research for CRO purposes helps you understand three things. One is why people buy, the reasons for buying. What are the things that are stopping people from purchasing something? And third, what people care about the most during the decision-making process, okay? And I'm gonna explain these things with actually three examples that I cherry-picked here. So you and I did an episode few months ago. We reviewed one of the bestsellers of Allbirds, the shoe company. And what I've done is I've done keyword research, using one of the tools, most popular tools is called Ahref. But you can do it, which is like a paid tools, but you can do it with a lot of other free tools. You can even just Google stuff and you can actually do keyword research by Googling things. And so during that keyword research, I came up with, I discovered some keywords that people search for. While searching for Allbirds shoes. I'm gonna read them out loud to you. So one is Allbirds return policy, right? That keyword could be for people that already purchased the product, right? And now they want to return it. But it's also people that are in the decision-making process and they haven't purchased the product yet. And they want to see how the returning policy is, right? Another couple of ones that I thought they were very interesting were Allbirds waterproof. All right, people care about shoe being waterproof, and that's a strong signal, because to me it's like that's an hypothesis that waterproof it's something that matters to customers when
Well,
they
it could
search.
also even signal that it's kind of like when I think about the decision tree, I've already decided that I like all birds, and I'm now looking for a quality that I need in the thing. So it kind of shows a high degree of motivation versus, someone that doesn't say all use the word all birds.
Totally. It's almost like the way I think about this is like you have clues about what people search and what people care about while they are on the shopping journey, right? And to me, that's such a powerful intel, because it's free basically, because again, you can just Google stuff. You can put Allbirds and you get like the suggestion of all keywords related to Allbirds, the most popular keywords that people. So it's like you don't even need to pay a tool in order to do that. I'm gonna give you another couple of examples that I discovered while doing clients work, but also while recording our episode. So you and I have a client in common, and I've done keyword research. I'm not gonna say who this client is, but I've done keyword research for them, and there were literally keywords about all the different, this is an e-commerce company, they're in the pet industry. And one interesting thing is that a lot of the keywords that people were searching for were about product features and product characteristics, I would say. Literally, like, people searching for flavor, or the ingredients about this product and so on. So it's literally, like, again, data coming out of Google that tells us what people are searching for. The last one I want to give you, which I thought it was probably like one of the most interesting ones. So a few months ago, we recorded an episode on Glossier, the beauty and cosmetics company. And I basically did keyword research for them, and I've discovered a lot of very interesting ones, especially around, like, people compare, they wanted to know reviews of a specific product in a specific color versus reviews of the same product in a different color, right? Because it was like a brow product, so kind of like that makes your brow a little bit more fluffy. So people wanted to compare not just any review, the reviews of one specific color versus the reviews on another one, right? And I'm like, okay, I would have never figured this out, using the other customer research methodologies that I usually use. So I really want to tell people to actually start using these methodologies in order to understand why people buy, why they don't buy, and what they care about.
And I want to add, first of all, I really like the Glossier example. I really liked it because it shows the dimensions of the decision-making process that are so unique to that nature of product, right? So I would never have thought about that search query, right? But once I thought about it, then it opens up a whole bunch of ideas. Now, the only reason I want to mention, here's one thing I want to mention. A lot of people watching this episode or watching our show, they don't have websites that are as big as Glossier, that don't have as much traffic as Glossier, where there's so much search intent. Is it fair to say that, I can find the biggest players in my space and kind of do this research for those, because they have higher search volume, and then reverse engineer and say, oh, wait a minute, this is an intent that I can apply on my website? Is that how you would look at it? Or
Yeah, I mean, I don't know how much traffic needs to be searching for specific keywords in order to have these keywords pop up, right? So if you're making like $10,000 in revenue a month, I would go exactly the way you just suggested, which is who are the top players in your industry in terms of like size and revenue. Do the keyword research for them, and maybe, like, it's very likely that your customers are also using the same keywords for searching for your own product. But if you, and this is like me completely randomly say $10,000 in revenue a year, a month, which is like very little, like low six figures. So what I would suggest is do that if there's no traffic, if there's no enough keywords that people search for. If not, just literally go in Google, type in your brand name, right? Let's say, I don't know, like whatever your brand name is, and go in the people also ask section, and usually you'll see a bunch of like additional queries that people search for related to your brand. And obviously, again, if you only make $10,000 a month in revenue, it's very likely that you will not find anything there and go with the competition. But if not, just use this methodology.
And I want to just add one more thing here, Lorenzo. As you're listening, as I'm hearing you talk about this, I'm thinking to myself, like, wow, this is a really clever idea. But I also know that once the video stops, I'm just gonna move on and not do anything about it, right? I think this is a trap we all fall into. We have all of these shiny objects that we find. So here's what I would tell listeners. First of all, it is not humanly possible. Whether you have 10,000 a month in sales or even if you have 500,000 a month in sales, we all have only 8 hours to work every day. And you cannot be consuming content like this and saying, oh, and I'm just going to do all of it. So if this idea strongly resonates with you, then I would recommend the only way to actually make this work for you is to allocate 4 hours a week for the next 30 days to do it, to see how it works for you. Otherwise, it's just a cool idea that Lorenzo gave that you're not going to make money from. But Lorenzo is giving this idea because he does his day in and day out and he knows it moves the needle. So it's really up to you to allocate time, because ideas are worthless if we don't allocate time to them. So I just wanted to mention that one point.
Yeah, and in this case in particular, the keyword research case, I'm gonna give you 2 reasons why you should do it. First of all, the time consuming is probably like 10-15 minutes because it's literally like super easy. You don't need any paid tools, as I mentioned earlier. The second thing is, let's say you don't even want to put those 10 minutes, right? Let's say like the highest level of laziness, or because you're extremely Steve Jobs busy type of person. What I would do is ping your PPC guy or your SEO guy, right? And ask him or her to share the keyword research spreadsheet that he has created. And I'm sure he or she has created it, because if they have done things correctly from an SEO and Google Ads perspective, they do have a keyword research document spreadsheet. And just ask them to share it with you and just go through all those keywords and see what people are searching for.
Um, yeah, absolutely. Bottom line is that in order to be successful, you're going to not only have to hear great ideas, but you're going to have to actually act on those great ideas. And 10 minutes, is might not be a lot of time, but doing it 10 minutes every day, that's where the discipline comes in. And the difference between brands that are growing 10 times faster than the average e-commerce business is this difference, is that they actually allocate time to work on these things. So thanks for your time, Lorenzo, today. And we will be back with yet another riffing idea that we'll share with you. Take care, guys.
Thank you.